Got quiet anyway.
Yeah, this is the time where you wiggle and make lots of noise and move away. Wiggle in your seat. It's about to start.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity Bay Area, Houston. It is such a pleasure to be back with you. It seems like the end of June when I was back, before I left, is a long time ago. So it's great to be back with everybody. And those of you that are joining us online, welcome. We're glad to have you with us as well. We want to begin, as we always do, with our affirmation of the day, which is releasing the past. I make room for the future. Together, releasing the past. I make room for the future. What a powerful thing right now. And we give thanks for honoring our fragrance-free Sundays here that allows some of us that are more sensitive to continue to speak and sing. And so we're grateful for that. Thank you. And we want to join together. Let's sing This Is the Day. Let's rise and join Ellen and Patty and celebrate this day.
This is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. Beautiful. Please be seated. Good morning, Unity Bay Area, Houston. How are you this morning? Good to see you. I'm Amy Grobleski, and I'll be your platformer today. So let's begin our service with the way we always do, with our statement of truth. Together, there is one presence and one power in the universe and in me, God the good omnipotence. Prayer is the basis of which Unity was founded. Our prayer chaplains pray with you and your requests for 30 days. Your prayers are also sent to Silent Unity to be prayed for at the same time, so you're getting double prayer power there. We have prayer request forms in the back over to the side here by the prayer rooms. Today, Sarah, you're going to be leading our prayer circle, is that right? No? Yes? There's Sarah? Okay. And John V. are our chaplains today. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so Dawn. All right, Dawn. So if you'd like to pray in person. For our digital viewers, if you have a prayer request, please click the button Request Prayer in your bulletin, or you can leave a private message through Facebook Messenger. Okay, so we'll have the prayer circle will be at the front following today's service. And we say, in the prayer circle, we say the name of anyone or anything on our heart into the circle. It's very powerful and comforting. And then everyone in the prayer circle prays with you. So please join us if you're called. And now let's please join Rev Kyra in prayer.
Thank you, Amy. It is such a privilege to be with all of you and always to pray together. So let's come together with our hearts and our minds unified in this one divine essence, this divine presence that we are and that we are immersed in, where it is everywhere present. We say thank you. Thank you, sweet Spirit, for the gift of your life, the gift of your love, to feel the power of that divine love radiating through each one of us. Every cell of our body rejoices in the remembrance of the truth of the divine love that we are one with this universal spirit of light and spirit of truth. We feel the power of our own Christ consciousness, of the divine essence moving through, unifying us through love, harmonizing our body, our mind, and our spirit. We say thank you, Spirit, for all the ways that you are blessing all of those that are here with us today and all of those that we hold in our prayers. All those that are feeling separation of any type. May they feel and know their oneness with God, and that divine presence, that loving essence is moving through, bringing forth the greatest good and the movement into greater peace and harmony. No matter what we may experience, we can right here and right now experience that peace and harmony in our own soul, in our own body, in our own mind, and to feel the power of that living presence, that living spirit that is alive in us and moving through not just this sanctuary, but into our children's room and our teens, into all of those that are touching base with us in any form this day, through thought, through prayer, through joining us online now or even at another time. May each and every one of our loved ones and all of those we connect with through our wondrous experience of light and love feel and know the power of this presence that moves through them, bringing greater good into their lives and into our world. And we say thank you. Thank you for all the blessings and for nurturing and comforting those in need this day and every moment of every day. We are grateful, grateful, grateful. And so it is. Amen. And yes.
So this week's announcements and all links to participate can be found in your Sunday e-bulletin, which was sent this morning at 7 a.m. Access to our updated newsletters and bulletins are easily found on our new website, www.unitybayareahouston.org, by clicking on the orange newsletter button at the top of the page. You can also call 281-554-2450 and leave a message requesting any event details. And for those of you that are here in person, we can visit the connection table that's in the foyer to show your interest in events. Attention, Prosperity Plus adventurers. Your new way of living begins on Wednesday, August 10th. So be here early. Yay! Rob Pell's going to be facilitating it. So you want to come here early to receive your pre-ordered class materials. You're cordially invited to the celebration. Now, you know Reverend Kyra knows how to celebrate, don't you? Reverend Kyra's 25th years of ministry. We'd love to see you in person, and we'd also have a Zoom at 3:30 that you can attend for those that would like to join online. Please message us on Facebook or contact Wendy at youth@unitybayareahouston.org to RSVP and to request a Zoom link. You can also add any personal emailed messages and YouTube videos for Kyra. They're also welcome. For her anniversary, Reverend Kyra requests a church fundraiser to support Unity Bay Area Houston. So please text GIVE to 281-595-1648 and choose the fund category Kyra's 25th anniversary. And I'm assuming you could also go to the donate button on the website, Ellen? Okay, so just either one. All right, great. And also there's you can also donate at the Facebook campaign at Unity Bay Area Houston Facebook page. Okay, so we're going to play a video for you now about the chaplains.
Oh, thank you, Kirti. It's very satisfying to me to serve our beautiful community in this way. That is my reward for being a prayer chaplain.
Yeah, my reward for being a prayer chaplain is that I have given the opportunity to be a channel between God and the person who's requesting the prayer, and that gives me great satisfaction with humility, and I thank God because I have this opportunity.
I think the biggest What I get from being a prayer chaplain is seeing how it changes people's lives and seeing how the power of prayer works.
What I get out of being a prayer chaplain is to see the Spirit grow within each individual that I pray with and for, and to have that Spirit grow with me also.
It's very satisfying being a prayer chaplain to commune with the people that request prayer. It's satisfying for me to see them be at peace, knowing that Spirit is watching over them, is praying for them through me, and so it's rewarding and very satisfying.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on the peace, because when I go into prayer with someone, it's like all the chatter that's going on in their lives is calmed, and I can see them just shifting into a peace, knowing God's presence. And not only do I see that in them, and that's so beautiful to watch, but it also keeps me in that same grounded God's love.
What it means to me, being a prayer chaplain, believe that it brings me into the divine alignment with the divine universe, with the Lord, and it really helps me focus and believe that it results in the goodness that I have to bring forward with the light, love, and prayers, peace, and blessings that I send out to every signature that I have. Thank you.
What I see for myself is a sense of oneness with the individuals that I'm praying with. Not only with that individual, but with myself and others in the world. Everybody that I touch, I just feel like I'm more part of them, and they part of me.
Thank each and every one of you for all the blessings of being a prayer chaplain. And everything they said comes from the heart, and we all, each of us, know that everything each one of us said we can resonate with. So if you are out there and you have at all the slightest question, or you may have a deeper calling to check out the prayer chaplain, the prayer class coming up, please, please let Reverend Kyra know about that, because you will grow. Whether you're a prayer chaplain or not, you will grow exponentially in your spiritual life. So thank you so much, all you prayer chaplains. Thank you again, and blessed. Thanks.
That. And if you've never sat and asked for prayer, you should do it. Get the experience yourself, because it's profound, the difference that affirmative prayer makes. And we really want to say that this class on the 19th and 20th of August, if you just want to deepen your own prayer life, if you want to experience more of what has been said, we invite you to attend. We also invite any chaplain that wants to renew, or someone, if you're prayerfully considering it, come, and you will be enriched no matter what your reasons are. We've got one guy named Bruce who came to experiment. Bruce Landry, well, I'll check it out maybe, and he ended up being, how many years have you been a chaplain?
19 or 20.
19 or 20. So it's a wonderful class, yes. So I encourage you to attend it. This is something fun. Interfaith Caring Ministries got a huge donation of ice cream, and they have graciously shared it with us. So we have an ice cream social after church today. Isn't that cool? So join us. All right. Okay, so let's say our vision, mission, values, and affirmation together. Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of a shared awakening. No kidding. Our vision is to inspire minds, awaken hearts, and empower lives through the teachings of Jesus Christ and other expressions of universal truth. In all that we are and all that we live, we value unconditional love, connection, authenticity, inclusivity, trust, and compassion. We are living relevant spirituality now.
Please rise.
I got peace and harmony, joy inside of me, love in all that I do, and the wisdom to know the truth. I got peace and harmony, joy inside of me, love in all that I do, and the wisdom to know the truth. I got peace, love, joy, and harmony. 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 I got peace and harmony, joy inside of me, love in all that I do, and the wisdom to know the truth.
We'll tag it. Thank you for being here today. Your presence is what makes this spiritual center so powerful and welcoming. We are excited to welcome some of you who may be here for the first time. Who has been here? This is the first time you've been here? Anyone? If you'd raise your hand. Thank you for raising your hand. Welcome. Welcome. And how about, are there any ones that have been here for the second or third time? If you would raise your hand. All right. Well, how about many, many, many times? A bunch of us with that, yes. So we would like to invite those of you who are here for the first time to get more information. I believe Domingo is passing that out to you now to tell you more about Unity teachings. And also you can connect with the greeter after the service. And online viewers can contact us through Messenger and our Facebook page. If you're looking for a spiritual place to be renewed and lifted, we want to welcome you here. All right, so let's say a blessing, the blessing that we'll say for each other and everyone here. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Now center in to receive today's daily word.
Good morning. Sunday, August 7th. Our word today is release. Our affirmation, releasing the past, I make room for the future. My life experiences have provided me with many gifts, from joyous to painful. I have taken something from each one, a nugget of wisdom, understanding, solace, that has helped me evolve into the person I am today. I am also growing, always changing. With gratitude, I receive blessings while letting the painful memories go. I have no room for regret and do not dwell on things I have no power to change. As I release unwanted thoughts and unpleasant memories, I free myself to enjoy new experiences and create beautiful, lasting memories. With an uncluttered mind and an unburdened heart, I embrace the present moment and eagerly create my bright, beautiful future. From Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 6, a time to seek, a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to throw away.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough hope hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, yes, Spirit, is in this very room.
I invite you to join me in this time of meditation by gently closing your eyes and opening your heart, beginning to just relax your body right here and now. And if you need to take in a deep breath and let it go. As we open ourselves to this expanded field of awareness, to this time when we feel the power of the light and the love that is the essence we are, we begin to relax from the very top of our head. We allow this universal light and love to come through and begin to melt away the tension in our head or behind our eyes, in our thoughts. Even our face begins to just relax. Our jaw and our tongue relax. Our neck and our shoulders. You need to roll your shoulders and shrug away any of the tension that you carry in through the week. Just allow yourself to be here right now. To be here in this sacred now, in this sacred space. To know that you are loved and that you are love. That you are protected and you're divinely guided and nurtured. And every moment is designed for you to create the greatest good in your life and in the world. To be blessed and to be a blessing. And so as we move into this sacred time of silence, we open ourselves to let go. Allow love to have its way in us this day. To allow that divine essence that we are to move through and gently release anything that is still holding tension, any place in our body or any thought or any belief that would keep us in bondage to the past. And we are invited to be fully present right here and right now, releasing with every breath, ease and grace moving through to free our spirit that we may soar. And we move into that sacred space in the silence now. In the silence. Now. And here. As we release and let go and allow love to move through our being, we feel our union with every creature of the waters of the world, all those of the sky and all those of the land. Every being on this planet, we feel the oneness with our humanity. We feel our beloved connection to Mother Earth and every plant and every mineral. And all of life is filled with this creative flow as we let go and allow love to be love and God to be God. And we allow ourselves to be one with all of creation. Every star and every movement of the planets is in a unified field of consciousness that we are a part of. And we feel the celestial movements and the divine awareness bringing us to a greater freedom and a greater love than we have ever known. And we are willing, open, receptive to the radical love that was taught by our way shower. And we open to allow that radical love to move our being now. And we say thank you. Thank you, sweet Spirit, for bringing the aliveness of that love and infusing every part of our lives, every thought, every word, and every action. And we open ourselves to share these words of the Lord's Prayer from an Aramaic translation. Together, beloved oneness, breathing life of all, holy is our essence. Create your reign of unity now. Your one desire acts with ours and vibrates light to form. Fulfill this day all need for bread and insight. Forgiveness releases us, and we remember wholeness. We are free from inner and outer deception and walk your path with joy. But you are the power of these truths and unite my words, thoughts, feelings, and actions through this prayer. In gratitude, my heart knows it is so. Amen. And yes.
Then the rainstorm came over me, and I felt my spirit break. I had lost all of my reality and realized my mistake. But time threw a prayer to me, and all around me became still. I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me now, I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Through the rainstorm came sanctuary, and I felt my spirit fly. I have found all of my reality. I realize what it takes, 'cause I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me now, I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Oh, I don't bend, don't break. Show me how to live and promise me you won't forsake. 'Cause love can help me know my name. Well, I've tried to say there's nothing wrong, but inside I felt me lying all alone. But the message here is plain to see. Believe in me. 'Cause Love's divine. Please forgive me now. I see that I've been blind. Give me love. Love is what I need to help me know my name. Oh, I don't bend, won't break. Show me how to live and promise me you won't forsake. Love can help me know my name. Love can help me know my name.
Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Patty. One of my all-time favorites. Well, I want to, first of all, acknowledge and thank all the incredible speakers that were here through the month of July, the different ministers that you've had that were here ministering, and what a gift they've been and brought to this ministry. There were great, great messages from each and every one, and so I just want to say thank you, and it was a fabulous time for everybody. I did watch them all. I thought I needed to learn too, and one of the things I learned is they all start with jokes. And I thought, I better get with the program. Maybe I need to add a joke at the beginning of my lesson. So, have you heard about where Jesus and the 12 disciples went into the restaurant and they said, well, we need a table for 25 or 26. And they said, well, but there's 13 of you here. Why do you need a table? Because we all like to sit on the same side. Yeah. And then, of course, Jesus and the disciples go into the bar, and he orders 13 glasses of wine, and he turns and he winks at the disciples. Do you get it? Did I say he ordered water? Oh, I had it wrong. See, that's why I don't tell jokes, because I mess it up. He ordered water, and then he winked at the disciples. And the joke's on me, yes. And then there's the monk who went to his master and he said, oh, master, are we as monks allowed to use email? And he said, absolutely, as long as there are no attachments. Oh, I know, groaners. We used to call those, in honor of my dad, the Don Webbers, when they were groaners. All right, well, this morning I am starting a series called The Unity Way or The Christ Way. What is it that we're up to in unity? Who are we? What is it we believe? What is it we value? We speak here our particular vision and mission and values every single week. And we speak these affirmations and talk about what it means to engage and live this unity consciousness, this Christ consciousness, if you will. And yet, what is it? What does that really mean for us? And how do we live that? And I want to go back to, we look at, in unity, we teach that Jesus is our elder brother, our way shower. He is the teacher that is guiding us to follow him, to learn about what is it that we're to understand and know and live in our own lives and in our own truth. And in this process, as we are learning to look at what his example was as the Christ and begin to live into that same Christ consciousness, we get to say what are the messages and actions that he has been giving to us to guide our way. During these times, there's a lot of controversy out there. There's a lot of division. There's a lot of our buying into separation from one another, and even from our different belief systems. And yet what we teach in unity is that we want everyone to find the truth that is within themselves, to understand and live from that truth in a powerful way that transforms their lives. We're not condemning any other way of being, and we also have values that we live into in our way. Somebody, I think it was Ellen, made this statement one day that said, the one thing we don't tolerate in unity is intolerance. That's it, because we want everyone to find the freedom to come to the truth, the power of the light, the power of the Christ awareness in their own being and their own lives. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the story of Jesus' life and his ministry and how that represents what is available to each one of us as we go through this process. So first of all, a couple of things that you need to know: that before he started his ministry, we know there's a long history of his birth and all that. We're not going to go into that part of it. But right before he actually started his ministry, two significant things happened. First of all, he went into the desert. He spent 40 nights in the desert and really going into that deep, powerful place of meditation, prayer, of opening himself to the divine guidance that he was receiving. And in that time period, we know that he faced 3 temptations and overcame those temptations. And we get to look at what those represent, because what he overcame in order to fulfill the ministry that he was here to serve is, first of all, he overcame materiality and attachment to materiality. That when he said, man does not live by bread alone, he was giving a commentary on the fact that we cannot give the material the power as the truth, because the power is in the divine. The power is in the God consciousness. And when we open ourselves to begin to say we want to live a more awakened and aware spiritual life in alignment with truth, in alignment with the higher calling, then we have to say, I don't give the power to these 3 ideas. Materiality was one of them. The second one he overcame was spiritual arrogance. Let me say spiritual arrogance. To say that I believe I have all the answers. It's the divine in me that is the doer of all things. It's the divine that knows. If I believe that I'm the one to be the Savior of the world in this sense, I am that which is the Savior in my own essence, and that I open to the Christ consciousness. But I am also not arrogant in that understanding. I understand with humility that is the divine in me, the divine through me and as me, that is the doer of all things, that transforms my thinking, that transforms my way of being in the world. And the last one was about personal power. Was that, he's offered all these things and these temptations. Well, one is great personal power. And yet, what we know, personal power will not get us where we want to go in the world. It will keep us unfulfilled and empty and continually yearning for something that is calling us to a higher realization. So he had to overcome those 3 things. Now, the second thing that was important before he actually began his ministry was that John the Baptist was put into custody. Now, why is that important? In our understanding, when we look at the metaphysical, the representation of what the Bible messages mean, we understand John the Baptist was the forerunner, and he represented the illumined intellect. Have you ever given a lot of power to your mind and recognized, oh my gosh, it brought me an illumined thought, and it's really beautiful and it's magnificent? But it is the forerunner to the true Christ consciousness, to opening ourselves to living according to this higher realization of living as a Christ awareness, as a Christ presence. And so even that must be contained in its place, because the illumined intellect can get us to believe, well, that's all there is, that's enough. I have all the wisdom and understanding I need. And yet it must be also, it must give itself over to recognize the true Christ, which is what John the Baptist does in the baptism of Jesus. And so these 2 things are very important. So then at that time, Jesus begins his ministry. Now he goes to Galilee. This center, Galilee, was a center of life, of energy. It was a very active and vital community. And we recognize that sometimes when we are beginning to open up to the true spirit within us, we have to go to the place where the activity of life, the activity within our being, where the centers of life are activated. And this is what, in Charles Fillmore teachings, our co-founder taught about the 12 powers, where each of these powers get activated in us to be aligned with a higher Christ purpose. They're great powers by themselves, but when they're activated in a Christ consciousness, in a Christ way, then all of a sudden we start to harmonize and bring together the gifts of spirit that will begin to move our understanding, our life, our awareness in a new way. And we live from something different that is moving us, guiding us, nurturing us in a different way of living. So when he begins, this also represents a momentum that was starting. And what was important about Galilee was also represented the idea that we are one with a divine substance, with that which undergirds everything in life, the substance of the universe, the substance of God, which when in conjunction with that, we begin to energize and move forward. We have a different result when we try to do that momentum on our own. Anybody tried that? I know lots of stories. We all have. We've all tried to make it on our own, and then we have something happen, and we hit the skids, we hit the place where we run up against the wall, we feel flattened by the experience because we have made ourselves the doer. We have claimed the power, we've claimed it as a personal place, rather than opening to that which is a divinely guided and nurtured and knowing it is God's essence that brings forth the good into our lives and moves us forward. Now, at this point, then, I want to share what Charles Fillmore says. He says, when the illumined intellect is cut off from outer expression, which is when John the Baptist went into his custody, the spiritual I am, or Jesus, withdraws into Galilee a consciousness of endless activity in order to come into closer contact with God, the source of all energy. When I'm doing it on my own, I have limited energy. Anybody else notice that? But when I give it to God and allow that to move through me, that energy is revitalized again and again. So the Galilee energy was also considered a mountain energy where it was a higher consciousness. So what we're really doing is we're moving forward into a higher consciousness ourselves. And after experiencing the God I am consciousness of what Jesus would call the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God, which we'll talk more about next week with Radical Kingdom, is that he says, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is near. Now, what he's really saying is turn to the divine, turn to that which is a higher consciousness that is available to each and every one of us. It's available inside of us, and it's all around us. And so he is speaking of the inner awareness for those that have ears to hear. Now, his first activity, and we'll get to the fact of how this represents radical love in a minute. You're wondering, well, what's this have to do with radical love? All right, we'll get there. But Jesus, his first activity is he calls the disciples. See, we have to call on the powers that are within us. We don't do this alone. We do it with that divine essence. We do it with the powers that are represented in us. We do it in collaboration with one another. We come here in unity to create community, to begin to move forward. But we begin that journey by doing it within ourselves. And so he goes along the sea, and he sees the fishermen there, and he calls out to Simon and to Peter, were the first two disciples that he called. Now, when Jesus called these disciples, they were brothers, and then Simon represents that which hears or hearkens. There's many messages where he talks about for those that have ears to hear. Simon was the first to hear and understand there was something different happening here. Can you imagine the energy of Jesus, the energy of the Christ consciousness when we are fully aligned, how that energy goes forth and it begins to go before it and transform others to hear and open to what is being presented? I've talked about my story about meeting the Dalai Lama, and like 3 minutes before he walked into the room, this wave of compassion came through. The tears just started to pour out of me, and I had no idea what was going on, but it was something I'd never experienced to that level. And I knew that this had to be the Dalai Lama coming in. And when he came in, all of us were just tears pouring out of us because we were awakened to a level of compassion that we had never known before. Now, if in fact I had that experience with the Dalai Lama, can you imagine the radical love that was present in that moment of someone that is totally aligned with their God spirit? They're totally aligned to the Christ consciousness, bringing forth that energy. And as he walks to these, they already feel his presence before he even comes. And they are being called to something. You know, how many of us have been stirred by something that Spirit has called us to? And it's like we felt the knowing inside of us beforehand that something significant was happening here. Something was about to change in our lives, in our world. See, Jesus carried the kind of radical love that transformed everything into a unified field that worked in harmony with all of the elements and all of creation. See, we have that ability when we open ourselves to be a presence for that divine light. Are we there yet? Probably not. All right. But we're working on it, right? We're in that journey in our process. And in the process of this, what he's doing is he's calling on fishers, and he's telling them, you know, I see you're having trouble fishing, and they were. And he says, well, go cast your nets over here, and they get thousands of fish. It almost overwhelms their boats. And they're like, wow, they'd not been catching anything all night long. But he says, if you think that's something, I'm going to make you fisher of people. Fisher of people. See, what is it to be a disciple, a student, someone here learning from the true Christ awareness within us and from our master teacher? They had this gift of coming and recognizing they're here to learn from the Master, to learn what is it that he carries. What is this presence that he brings with him? I want that. I want that experience. When I met the Dalai Lama and had that experience, it's like, I will spend my life trying to experience and express that level of compassion and love. See, it's radical to love like that in our world. It was at that time, and it is today. To love in such a way that we then invite everyone to become a presence for that divine light, for that love in their own lives, to accept others unconditionally. We say we value unconditional love. That we value authenticity, we value trust, compassion. We have these things that we say, and yet do we live into that? What thoughts are we thinking as we come and encounter others in the world? Do we have our judgments, our beliefs, our ideas? And one of the things that happens in Jesus' process with everyone is the first thing he does is says, leave what you're doing and follow me. Follow me because I'm going to teach you to be fishers of people. So what we are required to do to radically love, to really learn the unity way of being, the unity way of life, is to let go of the beliefs that are in the way of us coming to the true Christ awareness. To let go of the judgments that we carried. How many of you grew up with lots of judgments? Learning how to divide and conquer. How to, this is still a way of the world that we are in the midst of transforming, and it begins within each of us. If I'm still carrying thoughts of judgment, and I'm in fear or doubt of someone else, and I am being invited to love more radically, to let go of all of those things that I've carried from my past, belief systems and ideas that no longer serve a world that is yearning to come together, that is yearning for a place where they can receive love and acceptance rather than division and divisiveness. And yet that's a radical love in our time. Have you noticed? Well, in Jesus' time it was too. There were a lot of beliefs about, what was wrong with the world and how those that were in charge were doing it wrong, and it was an oppressive society, and that they couldn't be free to be themselves, express themselves fully. What is it we do today? We repeat these patterns. And we are in a time to say, let go of the patterns and come to a divine love, to an unconditional love in myself that loves and accepts all people, loves and accepts and brings a love into the situation. I don't have to agree with everyone else. None of us have to agree to carry love and acceptance and appreciation for each other. And this is a powerful place because somehow we've taught and come to the idea in our world that in order to be love, we have to have agreement amongst everyone. Well, we have an opinion for everything, and opinions that come to what, 7-8 billion people in the world? Everyone has a different perception, perspective, understanding, life experience. It's not mine to determine how that works for you, but it's to love you regardless and to be willing to take on this opportunity to be quickened by Spirit. See, that's what it means to be fishers of people, to be quickened by Spirit and fortified by truth. Fortified by truth in order to help others find their own inner light. Does anybody find their light in the midst of you pushing against them, rejecting them? No, they become what? Defensive? Have you noticed? Well, now I need to defend myself, my way of being, my belief system, rather than in the midst of love and acceptance and honoring their way of being, they find a place to then open up to a greater love. They open up to the light. They can honor and accept themselves. I'm not here to change minds in that way. Only they can change their own mind about living from a place of love. We don't get there by helping perpetuate hate or separation. We say in this world, the unity way is to say that the one issue we have in this world is our belief that we're separate from God and separate from one another. If we're to begin to live a radical love like was being taught, we have to start opening to the realization of that kind of love. Now, these men at that time totally get it. They're feeling the power of that kind of love, that kind of presence. They drop their nets, they hand it over to their employees to continue the fishing, and they dedicate their lives in that moment to something greater, to following that Christ consciousness, to learn, to be a disciple of learning and understanding something greater that is compelling them. And we have to say, I'm willing to be compelled by the divine. I'm willing to be compelled by the Christ consciousness to give myself over in service. As we do that, that's where the radical love comes in, because we dedicate ourselves to something greater than ourselves. When I'm focused on me, I don't really see and honor you. When I'm focused on honoring and celebrating the life and the love and the essence of each and every being, then I begin to shift. So this radical love is this inner awareness. And it helps us create the energy then that others will say, I don't know what it is about you, but I want to know more. I want to get to know you. I want to follow what you're doing. Because what happens for us, the kingdom of God awareness comes alive in us. We open to this place where fear no longer has its way. It doesn't have a stronghold in us. right? Where we're no longer bought into all of the other places of judgments and rules. And, you know, this is a challenge because most of our unity families here, many of them have fought the rules of the world along the way to even come to unity. To say, there's something else calling me that I want to understand and I don't. I don't want to make anyone else wrong. I don't need to do that. But I want to follow what's in my heart and in my soul. And so we already have been radical in making a choice to explore and ask questions and find a deeper and higher truth within ourselves. But I think there's another level that we're being invited to at this time, is to look at the way our thoughts and our beliefs and our way of being is creating exclusion in the world. Are you taking on thoughts and judgments that exclude others from God's love? Because that radical love of God, it does not exclude anyone. Everyone is a child of that infinite loving essence, that God essence. So when we begin to say we're going to open to that, we have to begin to look at the places we've created exclusion, where we've separated ourselves from others. Our first two principles in unity upon which we stand, we speak one of them every Sunday. There is one presence and one power, God, the good, omnipotent. Omnipotence itself. That one presence, it may be misused by others, but I'm not the one to stand here as judge and jury. That's not mine. Mine is to continue to shine the light, to bring the love in such a way that it begins to harmonize the world around me. Like the Dalai Lama's compassion transformed our understanding of living into compassion, invited and compelled us to want to do more, be more in that moment of experience. In the moment of experience, what is someone experiencing in your energy field? I want us to take these questions on and begin to notice, how many times do I turn to judgment? How many times do I turn to fear? Or how many times do I turn to knowing that God's presence, that infinite light, that loving essence is right here and right now within me? So, this is a call. This is a call to your Christ self. Do you say, yes, I follow the movement and the momentum of being a greater Christ presence in this world, to release the thoughts, the words, the actions that would indicate judgment of any type, or fear or doubt? This is the journey that we're on as we claim the unity way or the Christ way. We recognize that love is the why. Love is radical. Really, unconditional love is extremely radical, right? And when we start talking more about some of the other processes that Jesus went through, he was radically transforming the beliefs and the understanding of things that everyone took for granted in their time. What have we taken for granted? Where have we given the power away to the materiality, have become spiritually arrogant that we know, and taken on personal power rather than knowing it as the divine in me, and I surrender myself and I release what I've known so that I can be a student, a disciple, learning and growing in the way of the Christ, in the way that we teach here at Unity that is inclusive of all. I am deeply committed to these principles and to the values that we teach here at Unity. Sometimes that's not a popular stance. Sometimes people do not want to hear that because they want you to instead buy into their belief system. And I will stand here and say, I will stand for radical love, for a radical way of living these unity principles so that they are alive in each of us and we can feel the one true source, the one true power moving and transforming our lives together. We are here to collaborate and create a world that really works for everyone. And I am so grateful that I'm here preaching to the choir that already believes and lives this truth. And I'm going to invite us to take it on with every fiber of our being. Thank you for being the Christ presence that you are. God bless you, friends. I did forget to tell you that, you know, in the New Testament alone, there are 100 scriptures that say, love one another. 100 just in the New Testament that say, love one another. Did you know that? That's power. If you want to look at them, I've printed them out. You can look it up online. You know, we have this wonderful metaverse that provides everything to us, whatever that is. Google. And what I want us to know, that is the most powerful message, right? It's the greatest commandment. Love one another as I have loved you. And love the Lord your God with all your heart and your soul and your might. There's so many messages. Love your neighbor as yourself. That this is the message that we're here to live into. So I'm grateful for each of you. So as we move forward, this is a time when we take up our offering and we say thank you. We share our gifts, the gifts that are all from God. Everything we receive is divine. And so we teach tithing, which some of you are going to get an opportunity to learn more deeply and understand through Rob Pell's message with Prosperity Plus. And it is really a message that we tithe, and we as a ministry are a tithing ministry. We give back 10% of everything we receive to sources that have supported and nurtured us. And we are grateful for all the ways that we receive, and we feel it's the greatest gift is to seed the future by giving our first 10% of the fruits given 100% by God. And so we thank you for whatever way you give. For those of you that feel the call to tithe, to understand the power of that message in your own lives and to see the results of that. But either way you can give online, you can give through text, you can give through giving here today. We get checks in the mail. We love those too. We're grateful for all of it. We want to give thanks for every giver who lives upon the principles of truth. And so let's share together our blessing upon these gifts today. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And so it is. Back to you.
Love is but a song we sing, and fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, we shall surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Sing with us if you like. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
got to do one for your sister. Come on now.
If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now. Smile on your sister. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. One more time. Come on, people now. Smile on each other. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now.
Woo! All right, come on up, Amy. So we're going to do this prayer, and then Amy's going to give us a couple of other tips. So I invite her to come on up, and so we can celebrate her too as our wonderful volunteer coordinator. So just give her some love a minute. Yoo-hoo! All right, let's celebrate all of our abundance together. We celebrate divine abundance. We gratefully live, breathe, and experience abundance and generosity. Thank you, God, for the flow of resources through our ministry to bless the world. We rejoice as all our prayers are answered. We are grateful, blessed, and prosperous. Thank you, God. And take it away for a minute, Amy.
All right, just a couple more announcements we want to make you aware of. We've got some great volunteer opportunities that we want to invite you to consider. And also one we're going to announce that we're excited about. First of all, social media posting team. This would be any of you who enjoy connection through social media. We're looking for people who frequent online platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to support our outreach and connecting with people outside of this in-person experience. You can contact info@unitybayareahouston.org if you'd like to volunteer or discuss that. We're really excited to announce too now that we have fully staffed our office hours from 10 to 2, that's Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, with beautiful new faces of volunteers. Yay. We really appreciate you. So now if you want to come by, there'll be someone here in those office hours. And also, if you have any questions, you can contact me, and my email is up there, and be glad to talk to you about it. Okay, and also, this is a real exciting opportunity. In the youth ministry, if you've never checked out our youth ministry, or you're just curious, what do they do? We're going to have a sort of meet and greet where we showcase, Wendy Hoggett, our director, is going to show you what we do with the kids. And there'll be a lesson, there's going to be a craft, and come on, you got to come and have fun with the crafts. That's one of the most fun parts. So come and check it out. We're looking for volunteers, yes, assistants, teachers, but also we want you to know about the program. We want to bring it alive for you. Maybe you have kids, grandkids, maybe you have neighbors whose children would benefit from the kind of love and education that we have here. So this is going to be on August 28th, and that's a firm time after church. Come and check us out. And also, we're also looking for people that might have a special talent they'd like to share with the kids, like one Sunday. Doesn't have to be even on a regular basis. But we want you to come and connect with the teachers and the kids and Wendy. Thank you.
We want to remind you that there's a prayer circle following up here in the front, as well as one-on-one prayer by the prayer room for anybody who wants to have some extended prayer. And now, as we join together, we're going to sing our closing song. So if you'll rise, and we're going to be singing in the light tonight.
We are singing in the light of God. We are singing in the light of God. We are singing dancing, oh, we are dancing in the light of God. We are dancing, oh, we are dancing in the light of God. We are living 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 in the light of God. We are living, oh, we are living in the light of God. We are living, oh, we are living in the light of God.
All right, together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. God bless you all. Together we say, Yay, God! Have a fabulous week.